Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Social. You are listening to episode 13. We are going to be revisiting a past topic in today's episode from, I think, episode 10, and it's where we talk about the posting frequency for your social media channels. The posting frequency is essentially how many times you are posting over a certain amount of time. Everything that we talk about in today's episode will be over the course of a month. And that's how we typically like to measure it here at Alpha Social Media, that is. The bigger accounts and the smaller accounts are going to have different things. We're also going to go over what your frequency should be for your account size. And we're also going to look at some examples of accounts that I think are doing well and not so well in terms of matching the frequency that I believe that it should be at. And I think that some of these accounts could be optimizing their pages if they were to listen to this advice. So we're going to go over all this. The different size accounts thing I want to talk about. So frequency, the biggest thing about choosing a frequency for your social media profiles is going to be predicated on how many followers each profile has. So if your Facebook account has double the amount of followers that your Instagram account does, you may have some different posting frequencies for each account, essentially. And we're going to go over some examples today, but in general, there's one rule that you can follow, and it's that the smaller accounts, contrary to popular belief, actually need less posts made per month than the bigger accounts do. And you'll see a lot of bigger accounts, some post 3 times a day, which equals 120 posts a month. Absolutely insane. Some local boutiques even actually almost hit that frequency here in Springfield. A lot of times you'll see people putting things up as a post that could have just been a story, and it breaks one of the rules that we have here when we go to post for clients, and that is, are you adding value or taking up space on people's feeds? So that's a big thing that we always try to monitor is, are we adding value or taking up space? And if you're posting at a proper frequency for you, then you're never going to be wasting time on extra posts, therefore giving you more time to spend on the less frequent posts, and hopefully that will generate more meaningful content. That is actually a huge part of why this posting frequency talk is a big deal for clients and people that I talk to. It's because they'll currently say the posting frequency is at 25 times a month. If they were to spend the same time they spent making the 25 posts, making 10 posts, say it was 4 hours, if they spent 4 hours on the 10 posts versus the 25, the 4 posts are going to have much more intention and probably more meaningful content because the creator had more time to spend on them and curating them for the audience, and just whatever the quality of the ad in whole should go up. So that's one big thing about choosing the proper frequency, is actually optimizing your time and spending it properly. So the bigger accounts, like I said, need more posts going out per month. So I've pulled 2 big accounts off that we're going to look at off of Instagram. If you have your phone out or around, you can pull up Instagram or go to Instagram.com and look these up. The first one is Smart Sweets. Smart Sweets is a healthier candy brand for people who enjoy candy but don't want to eat all the sugars. They have a very fun and vibrant page, and they're currently sitting at around 320,000 followers by the time of this episode. They posted 31 times last month, and they have 321,000 followers. So if that gives you a gauge on some of, I was talking about, the boutiques here in town that we see, they're maybe posting 30 to 40, 50 times a month. And you have big accounts like Smart Sweets who rely entirely on internet sales, and they only posted 31 times in the course of a month, and they have 320,000 followers. So what does that say to the local boutiques and that kind of stuff? Do they need to draw it back? Well, we're going to get there. The other big account that I chose today was Panera Bread. They have 500,000 followers on their account, so 500,000. This account I actually think could be optimized to be doing better. So like we had said, Smart Sweets has 320,000. They posted 31 times. Panera Bread is a much larger company than Smart Sweets, and they only have 500,000 followers on Instagram, which is 500,000. They posted 16 times last month, so exactly almost half of Smart Sweets, and they have almost double the following. Does that mean that Panera should have posted twice as much because they have twice the following? Not necessarily, but I think that if they would have posted more, I think they have more chances for engagement, and they're not utilizing all of those chances because they have 500,000 followers and they only posted 16 times. A lot of what we're trying to figure out with the Facebook and Instagram algorithm is what is the sweet spot for posting that will maximize Facebook's organic push to your followers. So, if you have 500,000 people, and I don't know what the number would be, say it's 30,000 of them get on each day, and over the course of like a week, you would have finally hit all 500,000. Or 2 weeks, whatever it is. I think that if you were to be posting more, then you would be able to capitalize on the people getting online. So because they only posted 16 times, that's about every other day. That means they would almost be missing like whatever the number is. In this example, 30,000, they would be missing out on that audience's engagement. Now, the flip side of that coin is when you're posting too much and you have a short number of followers or a low number. So say you have 500 followers and you posted 16 times last month, so same amount of times that Panera posts. That's actually not a crazy number for new businesses, especially. A lot of times new businesses have a lot of updates and that kind of stuff, which generates more content. So 16 times is not a no-go for accounts with 500 followers. But what happens is if you put out 16 posts to your 500 followers and say only 30 of them get on per day, well, if you're posting every other day, then the frequency is going to be way too high for Instagram to serve it to everyone and not basically annoy them. So again, we don't know what the algorithm does or how it works, but our belief is that drawing the frequency back in this exact instance would help the situation. And when I say help the situation, I mean it doesn't hurt the profile or page or anything, but I think it would help raise organic engagement. So that's probably going to be the title of this episode now, is raising organic engagement by knowing the frequency of posts. So I wanted to choose an actual local account here in town as the final example for you guys. I know we just talked about a fake 500 follower profile. This is a real account, and I recently did an audit on them like 2 weeks ago, and they have 1,400 followers. They posted 25 times on average between Instagram and Facebook. And something else, another metric I like to look at is the average number of likes and the average number of comments and that kind of stuff. It's a very good gauge, obviously, to look at the engagement. So if the likes are higher, you had more engagement, and typically more engagement will speak to having more organic engagement. And if you do paid promotion, then that obviously influences it. So this profile had 1,400 followers. They posted 25 times, so probably a little bit high for the frequency that we had just kind of discussed. And their average likes on Facebook was only 2 likes per post, and the average likes on Instagram was about 10. So what that means is obviously the engagement's much lower than they would probably like. They have 1,400 people who have chosen to subscribe to their content. They posted 25 times and only got 2 people to like each post on average. So what's going on there? We basically can chalk it up to the Instagram algorithm or the Facebook algorithm. If they would have posted less, Facebook would have had more like slots for them to push the post out, and the more people would have had a chance to engage with it organically. So because they're posting so frequently, Facebook's suppressing some of these posts because it can't serve them to all of their followers like fast enough. You have to remember, when people get on Facebook and Instagram especially versus other kinds of social media, they're going there to see content with their friends and occasionally some content from businesses, but you are fighting for a slot in their feed. So you're mixed in with their aunts and uncles' birthdays and wedding anniversaries from friends and all these other things, and then your post only gets so often. So if you're posting way too much, the chances of you being fed into all 1,400 of your followers or however many followers you have is less. So the number of followers, total recap, the number of followers needs to be directly predicated and related to the number of posts that you're putting out and vice versa. So if I'm just going to give rough numbers here. If you're at about 2,000 followers and you have a local retail store, even a restaurant or something of that sort, I would say 10 times a month is a very good number to be at and around. And as the page grows, you obviously need to increase the frequency so that you're matching the followers like demand, essentially. And that's really like the gist of everything I wanted to talk about. I think a big thing though, the big things that will impact your business because of this are, one, the organic engagement is going to go up. So you should be getting more likes, views, and comments on posts because you're going to be served to more people because of this. And then on top of that, the person creating your media, whether it's a media team like Alpha Social Media or someone that you have in-house that you've put part of their hours to handling social media, if they have more time to do less work, they're going to have more time to put more effort into it. And so the quality of the media should go up as well, and that alone should raise the organic engagement. So these two things together should be really powerful for everyone listening to this today. And I want to know if it works for you guys too. So if you go and try this, tag us or leave a comment down on this episode wherever you're listening. We're on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, and we're also on YouTube. So wherever you're watching or listening to this, please let me know if this works for you a month down the road. Give it a month or so, draw it back. It's a really good time to do this moving into summertime, and spring's on the way. So we've got a lot of promotions and everything for businesses of all kinds. So I think this would be a great time for you as business owners to try this. And that's it, guys. So thank you for listening to today's episode. Again, I'm Rich Hake, and we're sitting in the Alpha Social Media studio. If you didn't notice, this is a new studio from last time, which is why it took us about 2 months to get this episode out. And thank you to Courtney behind the camera, behind you guys visiting on YouTube. Thank you as well. Please leave us a subscribe down below. And again, if you guys have questions about anything, seriously feel free to comment or DM us. We don't have a huge following right now, and you will get a response from us. I can guarantee that. You can also email me at letstalksocialpodcast@gmail.com. And we're going to have another episode coming for you guys next week. Have a social day.